Welcome to episode 70 of the XRM Toolcast. In this episode, me, myself, and I, it's just me today, will talk through ZoomIt, a tool for Windows that should be applicable to anybody, devs and non-devs alike. And I'll give a little explanation of why it's just myself and I talking on this episode. So it's a very short one, so sit back, relax, and let's get started. Hello and welcome to another episode of the XRM Toolcast. With me, your host, Daryl, always racing the bar, and, well, actually today I don't have a co-host. It's just me. So welcome, listeners. We'll see, hopefully there's more than one of you, but to say things have been busy would be an understatement for me lately. I've had the busiest client that I've ever had in my working career. There is an end in sight, but to say it's been very difficult with that in order to get some scheduling around and to get time scheduled with Scott and to get a episode set up. So I wanted to make sure you had at least an episode. And so no guest, no Scott today, but this last week here, actually it's 2 weeks ago now, I encountered a tool that I hadn't seen before and hadn't used before and was like, heck, why haven't I used this or why haven't I seen this before? And so I thought I'd give a little mini episode and walk through just a tool that I'm now using that replaces a tool that I've used before, and I think we even mentioned on here before as well. So the tool that I am replacing that's falling out of my repertoire for a majority of the instances is Snagit. If you use Snagit, it's a great tool for being able to do screen captures as well as be able to add text and shout out things on the screen. It's great. It's great for that. The issue that I have is it still takes a delay for Snagit to come up and to show on my screen. So that's really kind of annoying. So I don't know if you have that same problem as well. I mean, yes, I'm a prima donna here, but 10 seconds of waiting for it to load and for it to capture and then waiting for the editor for Snagit to come up is kind of annoying. And then I usually have the Snagit like running docked in my window, and that's just another thing to be docked in my window when I don't really need it to be docked in my window. So I've moved on to a combination of two tools. Okay, one of the tools I've used before, and I think we've mentioned it before, and that is the Greenshot. Greenshot is just a screen capture tool like many others, but I have it set up to immediately save whatever I'm working on and save it to the desktop and copy it to my clipboard, and it's pretty much works pretty much instantaneously for being able to screen capture. So great. The tool that I learned about a couple weeks ago that I hadn't used before, I don't know why, I'm sure other people have, but if I didn't know about it, hopefully maybe you didn't know about it either, and this will be beneficial for you. But the tool is called ZoomIt, and it's by Sys Internals. If you aren't familiar, Sys Internals, it's a company that I think Microsoft bought, or it's been around for a long time. I guess 25 years it looks like here. And they do all these little tools for Windows. And this Sys Internals tools is the ZoomIt tool. And the ZoomIt tool has two functions, one of which is the one I'm heavily going to talk about here in this short little mini episode here. But it has a ZoomIt function, which is there's a built-in like zooming tool for Windows. It works okay. The ZoomIt tool works a little bit better, I think, a little more intuitive, a little bit easier to stop it and to go back to what you had before. So I like it better than that tool. And then the other issue about it is the actual ability to draw on the screen. So if you've used, let's say, Snagit before, lots of times you want to draw a box around something, or you want to be able to add some text to something real quick. That's why you use Snagit. ZoomIt does the same exact thing, but pretty much instantaneously, and it's fairly easy to see. You can have it running in your tray icon, or you can have it not even showing up in your tray at all in your taskbar in Windows. But there's pretty much two things you need to remember. Control 1 is the ability to start zooming in on anything. Some programs, even like LinkPad here, and I'm doing LinkPad, it actually handles zooming just fine. But it won't zoom on some of the other things. Like if you open up like an options or references or anything else like that, like you can't zoom in on that. But with the ZoomIt tool, you can zoom on it fairly easily and zoom in closer and closer and closer to the point that it makes no sense to zoom in that much because all you see is pixels. But you can do that. And it's a quick Control 1 to actually zoom in and an escape to cancel out of that. The other thing that's very helpful, and that's the cool thing, is the Control 2 option, which is the draw option. And you can have different colors when you do that, like pushing blue. B gives you blue, and K gives you, actually K blacks out your screen, so that's kind of cool if you want to do that. And W gives you a white screen if you want to do a whiteboard. And you can start drawing on it. T gives you a text, start writing text on it. R will give you red, G will give you green, and you can have different colors to do stuff. The other cool thing is you hold down Shift, you can get a line. If you hold down Control, you get a nice square. So the few other options as well. There is O for orange, Y for yellow, and P for pink. You can also hold down the Shift and Control to get an arrow. So you need to do that as well, which is very helpful. And then the other thing that it does is it also has a timer. So timers are great to be able to, if you just need to throw up a timer, hey, we're in a meeting, we need to leave. It's going to be like a 3-minute timer here. You can throw up a timer. So here's a 10-minute timer. Control 3 gives you the timer. You can edit the time if you want to, but yeah, real nice to be able just to throw something up and walk away and not to do any time in it. So highly recommend it. It's funny how 10 seconds could be a really big deal. So that's like my tool of the week that I found. I thought I'd share with you guys. Don't worry, I'm not planning on having another one of these episodes. Next time we have an episode, we got a couple people that we're trying to get scheduled and get on board. We shouldn't have a problem with that, but I just didn't want to. We didn't really have anybody that we can line up in the time that worked with me and my vacation schedule and my work schedule, along with Scott's schedule. So that's all I've got today. If you found this episode worthwhile, great, let me know. If you'd rather not hear anything at all, let me know as well. But hopefully this was at least somewhat entertaining and somewhat useful. And with that, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. This has been the XRM Toolcast with Daryl and Scott Daryl. Produced by Lynn Zawin. If you have any questions or suggestions, please send them to cast@xrmtoolbox.com, tweet @XRMToolcast, or hit us up on our LinkedIn XRM Toolcast page.